Evo, dobar dan, pozdrav svima, hvala što ste došli, and thanks to our guy Yogi. Hvala svima još jedanput. Toni i ja smo u principu mislili puno pričat, ali budemo ipak puno više svirali i tako da se svi možete uključiti.
Da počnemo od neke povijesti bluza koja dolazi, u biti blues dolazi iz nekih tih početci, taj pred blues dolazi iz nekih tih muslimanskih regija, zapadne i središnje Afrike. I u biti prvi blues koji se našao na način da su u biti izvodili crnci na plantažama, pamuk. Oni su doslovno imali taj neki pristup, nisu smjeli pričati u tom robovlasničkom društvu, to jest nisu smjeli komunicirati međusobno i onda su imali taj call and response princip kao pjevanje, koji se kasnije iz bluza on potekao, ali kasnije se on vidi u mnogim žanrovima glazbe, u modernoj glazbi. Taj call and response u biti u bluzu je najčešće igra gitare ili vokale ili pijana i vokala ili gitare, ovisno, blues možete svirati na bilo kojem instrumentu, nije to samo gitara. Što se tiče tekstova o bluzu, on u biti prvenstveno je neka patnja čovjeka. I ta patnja u biti, iz te patnje može biti humorističan tekst, ne znam, ja sam našao primjer Big Joe Turnera. Da, stvar koja se zove Rebecca, u biti harmonija je, ne znam, jazz kadenca 2-5-1 i ne znam, možemo odsvirati, u biti je humorističan tekst, ali opet to je neka njegova patnja u tome, se vidi, on to na humorističan način prezentira, pa ne znam, možemo odsvirati 2-5-1. Rebecca, put your big legs off of me. Rebecca, put your big legs off of me. Might be fine with you, but it's worrying the hell out of me.
Znači, prvi slajd su bili bottleneckovi, to je bilo, kako se to zove, znači, vrh boce. I, znači, došlo se na ideju da se na vratu gitare svira, recimo svira samo bemol 7 svejedno. Znači, imamo bemol 7 i sad treba znati di su tonovi koji pašu s bemol 7. Znači, ako imamo bemol, znači imamo D. Bemol ljestvica, znači. Znači, u principu, velike su mogućnosti i sve je otvoreno. Samo nekako treba biti gađati te tonove i bitno je dobiti neki, znači, Razlika između metalnog slajda koji ima više metalni sound i ovog staklenog koji ima više topli sound, znači. I bitan je taj vibrato u principu. Mislim, može se svirati on bez vibrata, ali nije to to. Znači, taj trill u biti. Kaj smo sad dobili smo A-dur. Open A, ne? Otvoreni A. Ja sad mogu s tim, ne puno, ali sa slajdom mogu, zato jer pošto, evo recimo uzmimo ovu čašicu. Znači ja sad imam otvorene akorde na svakom pragu, samo, znači A. Ja mogu sad, znam da mi je A oktava mi je gore. I to je taj otvoreni sound bluza u principu nekog. To je zanimljiv full. Mogu ja tu ići? Uglavnom, znači ovo je neka početak priče o otvorenim štimovima. Znači vi u principu možete gitaru naštimat, možete izmisliti svoj štim. Uopće ne postoji pravila, nego samo treba istraživati i kužiti i shvatiti kaj hoćete s tim dobiti. Ja sad znam da ako stvar ide iz A, recimo počne. Ja imam...
I've been down to the crossroad, fell down on my knees. I've been down to the crossroad, fell down on my knees. I asked the Lord for mercy, save me if you please. I've been down to the rosy, trying to flag a ride. I've been down to the rosy, trying to flag a ride. Ask the Lord for mercy, down by the riverside. You can run, tell my friend boy Willie Brown. You can run, tell my friend boy Willie Brown. And I'm standing at a crossroads, living sinking down.
bring it on, Yogi.
So basically there's 7 notes in the scale, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this case, flat 7. 1, right? So there's 7 notes. So each one of those notes you can make a chord out of. Like 1 is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is minor 7 flat 5, and then 1 is major again. So when people say 1, 2, 3, 5, all that, they're just calling out those chords. So if I say 6, that would be E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 is A minor. 5 is D7. 1 to 6. 2, 5, 1. So you can play different kinds of chords over 3 or over 2. You can play 7th chords. For instance, for the 6th chord, you don't have to play E minor. You can play E7th. And for the 2 chord, you don't have to play A minor. You can play A7th. Or for so you kind of mix and match certain kind of minors and majors and dominants. But yeah, so that was basically like...
That's the concept.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I think I went from G up here, I went to E, to like E7, which is like, then I went A minor, 9th, then like D, which is a nice D9 chord, if anybody likes that one, to G, 9th, then E, right. The Hendrix one, right. A7, D11, this is G11. So those are those kind of bluesy jazz type progressions you can play, you know, and you can kind of, if you play them with a bass line, you get some cool like Joe Pass kind of stuff like Those are the same chords, but the bass lines are very melodic. So for instance, if you're going from, the basic chords are like E, or excuse me, G, which is the 1, E minor, which is the 6, 2, which is A minor, 5. So just those chords, basically. So I just go a bass line that goes down. 1, E, A, D, E, A, D. So basically just, I'm approaching each chord by a half step. So you get those kind of half steps, like. And that's the kind of sound you'll hear when you listen to the bass lines on the jazz records. And it's really important to relax your hands. Like, I've been playing a long time and I've never had the problems of, you know, like when I was in college, I still went to music school, but sometimes we'd practice 5-6 hours or something, like, and then you get the pain, you know, from that. But when you get this, it's lactic acid building up in your muscles. If you get that, you must get the blood going again in your hands. Like, guys just kind of keep playing, so you relax and lift the hand and get the blood circulating. So a lot of times guys who just, they keep practicing and they get this vein in their head and they're like, and there's a lot of that, you know, it's a lot about posture too. Like, people's shoulders go up, they're tense, their mouth is like this. All that stuff needs to, you know, relax when you play music. You don't, and breathe. Especially like when the phrase is coming that's maybe complicated and you're gonna play like, you know, something like that. Guys tend to go, you know, they hold their breath and stuff. That's the time when you're supposed to breathe and let the music go. It's like, you know, like, so that kind of stuff's super important in music, like breathing, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the hands, so you're not, you know.
It's easier to say it than to do it, right?
The part it's easy.
It's easier to say it than to do it.
Well, you just sit there and practice it. Like, if you're practicing with the metronome, watching TV and just practicing scales, like, or whatever it is, just try to relax and not get tense. Like, I mean, people do exercises watching TV or listening to the radio.
He does that.
Yeah, I mean, you can turn you don't even have to hear what you're playing if you're just working on technique, you know, I mean, you can just, you know, you can do that and do other activities. Exactly. Yeah. If you're learning, if you're working on finger picking or something. Yeah. But as far as the flow of music, it's important to be able to subdivide correctly, usually with
Sorry, subdivide.
So yeah, subdividing rhythms, meaning like you want to be able to stay in that same rhythm. And eventually, when you play a long time, you don't have to always go to keep it going, but in your mind, that's sort of the feeling that you're getting to get those rhythms, those complicated, tricky rhythms, you know. But that's sort of my feeling on rhythm. Also, guys don't move their body a lot in music, and you'll see guys like that are just playing and they're just sort of standing there. To me, that's not really good music, you know what I mean? Like, your foot definitely needs to move. There's something, you know, you have to get your body involved in it. And my favorite artists that I see that are grooving with the music, there's something happening, you know, in the body, and I think that projects the music to the audience better as well, you know, than just the sort of the stone, you know, guy that doesn't move, you know. So,
Do you get frustrated?
Sexually?
When you're playing, how do you deal with that?
Do I get frustrated?
With playing.
Of course. No, I mean,
how do you deal with that? You just start.
Reefer. No, I mean, well, I mean, really, I don't feel like I'll ever attain the musical, you know, level because as each time you learn something new, there's always other guys doing something more amazing. So music is just a journey, you know. I mean, and I think just being comfortable with creating something and feeling like you're expressing, and hopefully that you're hearing what you're playing. That's another really big topic. Many musicians, they don't really hear music. They are just playing music, but if you play with somebody else and we're playing in one key, one guy's playing in another key, another guy's playing in another key, and we're having a jam session, but nobody's listening, you know. So it's a whole nother level of music when you can hear what the chords are, what's happening, where the rhythm is. And young musicians really need to work on ear training, just so that if they hear somebody play, they can repeat it, or they know how to get the sound that they want to hear in their head onto the fingerboard. So, but frustration, I mean, I don't play anything hard anymore in my life. I kind of gave up on trying to be like somebody fantastic, you know. So I'm just playing simple stuff that I like to hear, you know, and that I can play easily. So I don't get too frustrated, but sometimes if I'm playing with some jazz musicians who are like really high level and they're playing maybe too fast for me or too many chords or something, then I'll feel a little frustration inside. But ultimately, if I want to get better at that, then I just need to put the hours in at home and practice giant steps, you know. You know, like if I want to really work on that, but I'm really not that motivated to do it. I like the feeling of jazz and I like the rhythm of it, but I'm not super caught up in trying to learn all of the patterns and all the diminished scales and all the, you know, it's just not really my direction. But there was a gentleman back there. Did he leave already? He had a question and I missed him. I guess maybe he got mad and left. The one who wanted the happy song.
Vito.
Yeah, oh, well.
True gentleman. Let's play one song.
What's your favorite equipment, guitar, amps, and stuff? What do you think is important in that sense? To buy the expensive equipment, or maybe, you know, I know it's always the same story.
Yeah.
How much money? It's like
really
guitars or bicycles, but what would you take for gigs? Should it be a guitar for $5,000 or whatever?
You don't need anything expensive musically. If you can make whatever you have sound great, that's great, you know. I use the same strings on my guitar for 1 year. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those guys who talks about gear or anything, although I like my gear and I have very nice stuff, especially in LA. I have stuff there for tours and stuff. But here I bought a Fender amp, and I have nice guitars. I have Gibson Les Pauls and 335s and stuff. So I'm lucky. But you know, like at the jam sessions, wherever we go, you know, I'll pick up anybody's guitar, or if there's a string missing, who cares? Whatever, let's make music, you know. So it's not so much about that. As long as you can make something sound good, it doesn't so much matter about what amp, you know. So it's about the feeling. What about play?
One from G.
G?
Well, we are done for today. I think any questions for Mr. Lonich or Mr. Tkalec?
Mr. Kalonix?
Tony.
Lonix.
Okay, let's have a beer then.
Hvala svima.
Oh, thank you. Hvala svima.